Hey friends, Kylie here, your host of Dream On with Kylie O'Miller, back for KO17 Athlete season of the Dream On podcast. I am so excited to be here today for another episode with current Tampa lacrosse transfer standout, one of our KO17 sponsored athletes, and someone whose energy is what keeps the bus moving in every situation she's in. Thank you as always for tuning in. These episodes are recorded from a live Zoom webinar that I hold through the KO17 Lacrosse app and are constructed into this Dream On podcast that you have found here. I hope you are gaining some insight from these episodes, from some of the people that I have met throughout my lacrosse journey who have imposed so much of their wisdom on me. If you're loving our episodes so far, show us some love in the reviews and rate us 5 stars. Also, be sure to SUBSCRIBE. It would mean the world to us. All right, we've got another special guest this week, and I am so pumped to get right into it. Mary Kate Person is this episode's guest, and she is one of the most entertaining and energetic people you'll hear from on the Dream On podcast. Her energy is a trait that she constantly comes back to during this conversation. As she mentions, it's one of the driving forces behind what makes her who she is as a teammate, a leader, and a person. Mary Kate transferred to Tampa this year after playing her freshman year at Long Island University. She is a draw specialist and a midfielder for the Spartans and was just named a captain by her coaches for the 2024 season. MK is also a first cadet in Tampa's ROTC program, something she feels she was drawn to pursue during her college years in order to serve in the military beyond, which has always been a dream of hers. Throughout this episode, we talk about the challenges she's overcome by looking at life with a big picture perspective and following guidance from one of her best mentors, her father, Andy. This is a truly fun one. I hope you enjoy. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Dream On podcast. I'm your host, Kylie O'Miller. Today, we are chatting with Mary Kate Person. She's one of our KO17 athletes. She's currently at Tampa. She's a sophomore there and was just named captain for the 2024 season, which we are so pumped about. She's a midfielder and a draw specialist. She's from Jericho, not New York, but also the Philly area in PA. She played for PA Express, and she is also a cadet in the Tampa Army ROTC program. So she does a lot. She's also just like the firecracker energy burst of the group. And I am just so excited to chat with you. So MK, thanks for being here today.
Oh my gosh, of course. This is like, I say this all the time. I'm on Kylie Owens' podcast. Like, it's amazing. Yeah, I'm so excited to be here and talk to you just everything and all lacks. And I love that.
Yeah, so excited. We were just chatting, catching up a little bit, but we always like to start off to a good start on the Dream On podcast. So
Yeah.
we record these at all different like times of the year, times of the day. So we just like to check in on like where you're at right now. So for reference, it's Wednesday, January 31st, 2024 at 6:15 p.m. So what is something you're thankful for today?
Honestly, today, I'm living in Tampa, Florida now, so every day is sunny, 75 and sunny. But today is particularly we have practice from 12 to 2 every day. So you either nowadays it could either be like 55 degrees, which is super weird to me because I've never lived in Florida. I'm like 55 degrees. Are we for real? But today it was such a nice day, and we had like one of the best practices today because everybody was just genuinely happy to be there and we got so much stuff done. So that honestly is something that I'm very grateful for just today to check off.
I love that. I mean, I also can't relate, January preseason, 75 and sunny, cannot relate to that. So I love that you're thankful for that because I would be too.
Yeah, seriously.
Going off the same kind of thing there, what is something that you're proud to say that you've accomplished so far today?
You know what? Preseason, it's tough sometimes. We had our run test today and I'm very pumped because our team all got through it, and it was honestly, that's the one thing. We started off practice with that and I was like, guys, we can do hard stuff. Like, this is awesome. Like, and everybody had a smile on their face all through it. So that's one I'm grateful for, and I'm very happy that we did that today because we always say in our team, you climb one mountain and it's just the bottom of the next one. So Miley Cyrus keep on climbing. You know what I mean? So
Already quoting Miley Cyrus. I knew I had to have you on here. I love it. Okay, last but not least, what is something that you're pumped to go and chase? Could be, with the rest of this week, could be in the
yeah.
coming months. What's something you're pumped to
I
chase?
mean, I'm excited. One, the season to start. I'm extremely excited to play. Um, down here. Um, Two, I mean, I would say the most thing I'm super pumped at right now is my family's coming down for like the very first time ever. And it's funny because I mean, I have four siblings. We all went to Long Island University and my dad even works there. So it's like we are all on that campus every single day. So now one of us is now in Tampa. So it's like, oh my gosh, guys, you can come down and see my world because you guys are all over there. So I don't know. That's one thing that I'm very pumped about because I mean, I love my family. I miss them so much. And they finally can come down and see the campus and see the life I live now. It's just so weird to say. So, yeah.
Yeah. When's that happening? Is that soon?
So they're going to come down for the Adelphi game. And I'm so excited to play them because they're Long Island and I love playing Long Island teams. But they're it's February 7th, I want to say. Don't quote
Okay.
me on it, but it's around there. So I'm really excited to see them. Yeah.
Okay. Coming up. Coming
I
up
know.
quick.
Yeah.
It's exciting. So yeah, tell us a little bit about where you're at now. So you mentioned you went to LIU last year for your freshman year with your family, with your siblings, and now you're at Tampa. So what's been going on lately? How's preseason going? How was fall ball? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. So preseason right now, I mean, preseason is preseason. You got to get ready. You got to be able to I mean, I'm midfield, so you got to be able to go up and down the field, you know? Honestly, preseason has been going so incredibly well. We have so much talent here at Tampa where it's every day is you seriously, when you're playing with people, everybody's a challenge, which is awesome. And preseason is I don't know, it's you, every day you come to practice and everybody's just so excited for that first game. Fall ball, even well, so I'm a transfer from Long Island University. And so this is my first fall here. And I was really nervous just because, change of scenery. I've never done any transfer before. So fall ball, I couldn't have asked for a better fall ball. We played bomb teams. We played University of Florida. We played Jacksonville. We played USF, which is right down the street. And that was like super cool. Like I've never got to play like those big games like that. I mean, you know, because you play them all the time, but it's like
Yeah.
my first game, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm playing the Florida Gators right now. Like this is sick.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's just so nice because again, like it's just always a beautiful day here in Tampa. So it's like you
Yeah.
just get to play lacrosse and have fun. So yeah.
Yeah. That's exciting. So we mentioned in the beginning too, like we were chatting about this before the podcast, but you not only play for the women's lacrosse team, you're also taking classes like a normal student.
Yeah.
You're also in the ROTC program. So can you talk about like what your typical day in the life or maybe week in the life looks like?
Yeah. I mean, when I tell people, I'm like, oh yeah, I play lacrosse and I also do ROTC, people are like, oh man, how do you even do that? I'm like, honestly, like it is all time management. Obviously, we were talking about it before, but like a typical day for me, it's really Monday, Monday through Saturday now is all lacrosse, but Tuesdays are our labs. So for ROTC, so we have ROTC has PT in the morning. It's at like 5:45 in the morning every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But because I'm in season, it is nice. So I get excused from those for practice. But you go to the classes on Tuesdays, and the classes are from noon to 4 o'clock. And you basically go in there and you learn like all types of sorts of stuff. It's like how to conduct a brigade or an ambush or like the army values and like how to conduct an op ord or like things that like I'm like you see in movies and then you go and you do it and it's so like personally I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
So uh, a day in my life typically on a Tuesday because it's more so classes are on Tuesdays. Um, and when you get upperclassmen, you have it more often. But for me, I'm a sophomore, so I only do one day. You Tuesdays are my longest day. I have morning lift, and then 7 a.m. And then I got, oh yeah, then I have a 10 a.m. lab with, or it's like a class for our ROTC. So every class has, like, the freshmen have their own class, the sophomores have their own class, and then the juniors and seniors. And so I have class from 10 to 12. And then today, or I think the last week we were learning, how to conduct an op ward, or like, we're really getting on like standard regulation uniform. So we had a whole 2 hour class about just like what is the standard and whatever. But and then we have lacrosse practice from 12 to 2. So I have like a little bit of a window. So I asked my coach, I was like, hey, can I come to practice for like 30 minutes? And she's like, yeah. And I would come to class in my uniform and do draw work with our draw specialist coach. And it's funny because it's like, so I've got like my ROTC, like my lacrosse goggles on with my hair slicked back and my ROTC uniform. I'm like, it's funny because like I'm
That's
all best
awesome.
friends with these girls. So they're like, oh my gosh, like that's so silly. But it is funny. This past Tuesday, I had enough time where I could get out of my uniform, put my practice uniform on, and then go back and put my
Okay.
Army uniform on. So that was nice. But usually, I don't know. That was a blessing. And so then we go to labs, and we have this really pretty park in our on our campus here at Tampa, and it's called Plant Park, and it's just like a huge grass field, and it's all like 60. There's like 60 cadets in our program, which is awesome
Wow.
because there's so many of us, and we all like get out there and we conduct like lanes, which is like doing like react to contact and stuff like that. And everybody gets their M4s. They're all obviously fake, but you're all out there like rolling around in the grass and just yelling at each other, and you're like basically pretending like you're in a war, which is
Yeah.
silly, but it is cool. But
Practice.
yeah, it's literally like I was talking to one of my cadre is like your professors and your teachers in the military. And I was like, if you were to write all these things as like a playbook, like lacrosse, I would get it like that. And we even like sat down and I was like, okay, like this would technically be this is an offensive set, basically, if you're going to like conduct this and whatever. It's just funny because I like translate so many things in my life to the game of lacrosse, which is it's subconsciously all the time too. And
Yeah.
so it's just funny. But and
That.
then
I
after
think
that,
that was cool. That was a
yeah.
cool like reference right there, right? Like, and that can apply so much to like normal life.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
only just ROTC, that can also be school for like,
Yeah.
anything. Like it just like
Yeah.
works for your brain
Yeah.
because
Seriously.
yeah.
Yeah. And even like it's so I mean, I grew up playing lacrosse and that's a team sport right there, but it's so much like a sport. Like going and doing things in the military, it's like you're working with people, you have to know people's personnels to for
Mhm.
everybody to reach a common goal. And I'm like, okay, like this like makes sense to me. Like this is
Yeah.
English, you know? And so yeah, it is cool. And we get all yeah. And we do all these I don't know, we it is really cool. And it's really
Yeah,
awesome that we
it's
get to
very
do all
unique.
these things.
That's why I asked about it. I think like on this podcast, we have a lot of college lacrosse players or former college lacrosse players, but to hear about what you do, like on a
Yeah.
general, like
Yeah.
basis, and you add that in as well, like
Right.
that's really, really special. So can I ask like why you got into that and what you want to do with that post collegiately as well?
Yeah. So for me right now, I it's so crazy that because I'm like, I'm so old, but I'm like, actually, Mary Kate, you are actually very, very young. Like you're
Yes.
just a baby. Um, so I wanted to join the military because I mean my dad has 6 brothers and they all wanted to go into the military. Or he has 5 brothers, but they all went to the Naval Academy except 2. And they all met their wives in the Naval Academy, and my entire family is in Navy military. And I grew up like watching the Army Navy game and like all that stuff. And I would go to naval academies. Every camp they had in the fall, I was always there, and I always wanted to go to Naval Academy. And it was just like one of those things where it was like I just knew. I don't even think that I wanted to go to the Naval Academy so bad. I think I just knew that I wanted to be a part of something like that, be a part of something bigger than myself for your country, I guess. That's the way I kind of like to put it. And it's like when I started my recruiting process, I obviously went to LIU. So I made the decision to go there, and um, I still really wanted to serve, but I didn't know how, and I didn't really know any. In my brain, I was like, well, if you don't go to academy, then I have to enlist after, and there's really nothing you can do. And I remember my dad being like, have you ever heard of like ROTC? And I was like, no, like what even is that? And he was like, that's like exactly what you're looking for. Like that's literally what that is made for kids like you. And I was like, okay, like let me look into it. And I looked into it and I was like, I remember like I feel like my computer started glowing gold. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like this is literally what I want to do. And but unfortunately, I still really wanted to go in the Navy. I never knew it. I didn't know anything about the Army, Air Force, Marines. I didn't know anything. All I knew was Navy. That was all I knew. And so when I was looking at ROTC programs nearby, because LIU didn't have a program, so I would have had to commute. I the closest one was like 45 minutes away, like to an hour. And I was like, whoa, like I don't think I could swing that. Like that'd be crazy if I was playing Division One lacrosse and also having to commute 3 times a week, because their program was a little different. And so then I was like, Dad, like I don't know what to do. Like, and he was like, well, have you ever like tried the Army? Like there's a Army ROTC program like right down the road at Hofstra. And I was like, all right, fine, let me look it up again. And, I
And
looked it up and
Dad's
I
got all
was
the answers.
seriously, I'm like, do you just sit there and like wait for me to freak out and then you're like, let me tell you this and whatever. And so I looked into it and I was like, you know what? Let me just try it. Like I worst comes to worst, I don't like it and I don't have to do it. But I kind of knew in my heart that I was going to love it because again, I don't think that it was just going to the Naval Academy had me wanting to do that. It was just being in the military, period. So I looked into it and I did it and I loved it. I literally like I looked forward to going to class every time, like every week.
Yeah.
And so um then when I started entering the transfer portal, I was like, I want to continue this and I want to get a scholarship in it and I want to like actually make this like something that I get out of college and do. So now I'm in the process of now that I'm not a freshman anymore, because freshmen, it's kids like me that are just like, yeah, let me try. So it's very an intro class where it's like just you know these are the Army values and this is what it means to be in the military and this is the ranks and stuff like that. And it's very like ABC kind of things you just like the 411 of things you have to know to be in the Army. And now that you know it's just things that are getting introduced to you for the first time ever.
Right.
So now that I'm a sophomore, you have to, there's no rush, but you do want to start figuring out what you want to do after. So for me, I am super interested in like aviation, the branch. And I mean, who knows if that's like true. I mean, I have 3 years to figure it out, but um right now I'm like Top Gun all the way. That is super cool to me. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. Like just
It's
like everything else. Yeah. Just like let's do
yeah.
it.
Interested in designing your own custom handle? Turn to brine.com/custom to put your own personal touch on your game. Choose from over 16 available colorways with the option of adding your name, number, and even logo. No minimum purchase quantity necessary. Save your design and share with an authorized Brine dealer to get started customizing today.
Let's try.
Well, I think that's
Um,
really cool. I think obviously like so much of what you're saying is so interesting because one, like I've never been through it. So like just I'm learning so much right now too,
right.
just listening to you.
Mhm.
But I think another thing that's important that you keep saying is like, I wasn't sure. I took a little bit of advice just by asking for like, hey, what should I do about
Yeah.
this? And then you were like, I could just try it. Like I'm
Right.
not gonna know unless I try,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Exactly.
and I
Exactly.
see that in a lot. Like, obviously, I've known you for a little while now, so I know that that's your personality. But like, even you just explaining that one piece of your life, like it's
Yeah.
really cool just to like understand that about you. I think it's
Thanks.
really
Yeah.
inspiring too.
Thanks. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I'm like, if you just try, like, what's the worst
Right.
really that can ever happen? You don't like it, you don't do it. And I mean, fortunately for me, I loved it. And I'm like, word, I probably will want to be in the military for longer than I'm required to, because, after ROTC, you're required to serve. But I'm like, you know what? This is actually super cool. So
I actually really like this.
I
I like
actually love this.
yeah.
Wait, Sergeant, can I stay?
Can I stick around? Okay,
Can I?
thanks. Cool, cool, cool. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about your dad. You mentioned that you have a bunch of siblings.
Yeah.
Well, you grew up in the Philly area, right?
Yeah.
You guys moved to Long Island. So,
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about that family life, and also like what was your introduction to sports like when you think all the way back to that as well?
Yeah. So, I mean, I was born in Bronx, New York, so I'm back at my roots, back in New York. Um, my all my siblings, I mean, my little brother's 18, I'm 20, my oldest brother is 21, and my two sisters are 22 and 23. So we're all super, super close in age. Like, I went to college with two of them, and one I just missed when she graduated. But so we have always been so family oriented. Everything we did it together, and it was one of those things. And I grew up in the Bronx, or I was born in the Bronx, and then my mom passed away, and it was one of those things where it was like, you know what, let's fresh start. Let's go back to Philly, because that's where my dad grew up, and he was like, let's fresh start. Let's do this thing again. Let's try it. Let's just
Yeah.
see if it'll work. And that's what we did. And we went back to,
From.
yeah, honestly, yes, like
There
my
you
me and my dad are very, very similar. But so we went back to Philly, and I was super, super young. So honestly, like, Philly is really all I ever knew.
go.
So when we lived there, my nana and pop came in to move in with us, and it was a zoo in our house, to say the least. We had five kids and three parents, and it was, I mean, the best time. It was awesome. But it was one of those things where I think, and my nana always told me this growing up, she was like, your mom told me before she passed away that all of you guys needed to play one sport, no matter what. You always had to be in one sport, no matter, like, it could be something different every year, but you just had to be in one. And so I was the kid that played anything. Like, I played soccer, like basketball, all the sports that you could probably think of. And like, I think at one point I was doing like some self-defense classes. I think it was, I don't even know, literally anything. And but it was, when I was super little, it was like lacrosse was like just something. Like, my oldest sister did it. My aunt, who played at American, she's really the reason why we all got into it, is because she played collegiately. And my oldest sister was like, you know what, I'm gonna play lacrosse. And me being the youngest sister, I'm like, anything that you can do, I'm gonna do it too. So it's kind of this thing, there's like monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. And I remember picking up my first lacrosse stick and being like, no, this is not for me. Because I couldn't catch and throw the ball. I couldn't do anything. And I was like,
Yeah.
Nana, this is not for me. And she was like, your mom told me you have to play one sport, so figure it out, whatever. And I was like, you know what? Well, I'm already playing soccer. I'm already playing basketball. Like, why do I have to? She was like, you're gonna love it. You stick with it. You just try it one more year. And I was like, okay, fine. And I remember like coming back my fourth grade year and being like, this is awesome. Like, this is quite literally the best part ever. So I think ever since that, I was always playing lacrosse. My two older sisters have always been those two people that are like, yeah, let's go out back and play lacrosse. And I mean, Taryn's the
Yeah.
same way. You guys are all playing together all the time, and just grew up together and with
Yeah.
that sport. And I think that's awesome. And that's how I grew up. And my two older sisters are more closer in age than I am with them. So I always grew up going to their high school games where they could play lacrosse together, and I would watch them. And then they both went to LIU together, and I would be in high school and I would be watching them. And then I think that's why I wanted to go play at LIU so bad, is because I
Yeah.
grew up watching them play and do all those things. And um, I was like, I want to go play with the girls that you've been playing with, and I want to be a part of you guys. And So yeah, just growing up, like lacrosse has just always been that, you know,
Thing you
safe
look up
space.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's yeah. And then, of course, when if my sister played on a travel team, it was like, oh, Nana, where's my sign up sheet? I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that. So yeah,
My turn.
and
Yeah. So you played for PA Express, right? That was
yeah,
your time with the travel team. Like, what do you feel
yeah,
like your time playing for them helped
yeah,
you prepare for when it came to like, I don't know, big decisions in lacrosse or
yeah,
bigger games, bigger moments, stuff
yeah.
like
So I I was very fortunate to play with PA Express all up until the last season that you ever could. Um, so I had the same coach from fifth grade all the way up to senior year, and they were the best. Coach Crop and Kaplan, oh my gosh, they're awesome. But so we started playing lacrosse in fifth grade, and all these girls are my best friends to this day, and they all we grew up together, and they really showed like they were also super family oriented, and all these women are still to this day, and I if they're watching this podcast, I might shout you all out,
that.
but they unfortunately, so I had to move back to LIU my junior year of high school just because that's how life goes. My dad got to stayed at the job there, and it was time to pack up and leave. So I think that was the hardest goodbye I could ever do, kind of thing, because those were my girls. Those were the girls I played with. I've never missed a summer with them. Those are the girls they're my summer camp, and those are the girls that you do everything with. And so when my dad was like, "Hey, it was my junior year, so I still had that junior summer, so I
Mm,
had to go and find a new team essentially." And I was like, "Wow, like." This sucks. Like, I don't want to play with it's not that I didn't want to play with anybody else, but I was like,
yeah.
I don't want to play with anybody else. You guys are my girls. And then COVID hit. So it
Mm,
was like, whoa, like this is gonna be tough to get on a team that meanwhile I'm still trying to get recruited by teams like coaches, and I'm freaking out because I'm like, Dad, I don't like nobody wants this is one of our last year. Like nobody needs anybody right now, like, whatever.
right.
And I was super fortunate to score uh tryout with Top Guns, and I was like, "We're like, let's do it!" And I was so excited for it, and I tried out. Unfortunately, I made the B team, and I was like, "Dad, like, I don't think I'm gonna get recruited this." And and looking back on it, it's just the name of Top Guns. Like, it's not, you're okay.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and I did a bunch of fall balls with them, and I noticed that all these fall ball tournaments I was going to was also the same ones that PA Express was going to. So I would be playing on a different team, but I would be seeing all my girls like
Yeah.
do the same thing. So I was like, hey, you know what? Like I think I'm just gonna talk to my coaches, see if I can. So again, I've been playing with these girls for 7 years now, so it's like
Right.
I won't be able to make those practices, but I'll do everything I can in New York because I want to be playing with you guys. So I came back that summer, and I got my last summer with them, and it was awesome. And COVID still sucked. There was no draws. Like it was one of those things where
I
everybody had to
forgot
sit in their
about that.
cars. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I forgot about that. No draws. You couldn't even
no
show that off.
draws.
And
You
that's one of your
couldn't either.
biggest things.
You couldn't do anything. And I was, damn, like this stinks. But I think that was one thing where it was like, again, like looking back on it, not that that was a huge transfer thing that I had to do now, but it was like a little baby thing where it was like I had to notice. I was like, maybe I can, like, I had to swallow the pill of I am moving to Long Island, so I can't be on that travel team anymore. But
Mm,
it was one of those things where I was like, wait, maybe I can do this and figure out a way to still play with these girls. And
yeah.
I mean, luckily it worked out for the best because I still got to have that summer with them. But
Yeah. And I
uh,
think something you mentioned about that too is like something that resonated with me. It was like you basically talked to your coaches and you were saying how I'm not just gonna do nothing and then show
yeah,
up on game day
no,
and expect to like play. Like you said, like I'm gonna do everything possible when I'm in
yeah,
New York while I'm on my own, working on myself so that when I show up, like I'm the same Mary Kate, if not better. for you guys, as
Yeah.
show up. And I think that's important to take. Like if you're listening
Mhm.
to this, is like, just because you're not with your teammates every single day doesn't mean
Yeah.
you should be working hard to make sure you're
Yeah.
ready to go when you see them next.
Yeah.
Um,
And that was, I think, I I'm always I say this all the time to my dad. I just everything works out just
yeah,
how it's planned. But I remember moving and COVID hit, and I remember being in such like a I don't know. We moved in June of 2020, so not only was it COVID, but I moved and it was summertime, the beginning of summer. So it's like I truly don't know anybody here, like literally at all. Like, I mean, I had my four siblings, so again, that was completely fine. But
we can
um,
make some friends. Don't worry. We've got
yeah,
a group.
um, but it was literally that summer. It was like my dad got on the phone with TJ, and he was like, you know, he wanted my older brother Drew to start working out with TJ. I was like, whoa, how does Drew get to go and train with TJ? And like, meanwhile, looking back on it, I don't think I knew what I was getting in for, but with those training. But I was like, no, like let me do that. And then eventually my little brother is he will never let me win anything. And now that he's actually getting bigger and older, I'm like,
Yeah.
he can win things. So it makes me mad. But like when we were growing up, it's always like he's just as competitive as we all are. So he got
Love
into it. And I remember TJ being like, oh, like ask Mary Kate if she knows Kylie Ohlmiller. And I remember my dad like being like, do you know who Kylie Ohlmiller is? And I remember like I was eating my cereal, I choked on it a little bit. I was like, yes, like what? And he was like, she just asked me like she wants to know if you want to train with her. I'm like, why are you being so nonchalant about this? This is like the coolest experience. Like that was hold on, what? And I was couldn't have said yes faster. And I was like, yes, I want to do that. That's like one of those things where I was like, Ma,
Yeah.
thank you for that. That is sick. That's so sick. And it was at like the perfect time when I needed it. It was like,
Yeah.
yes. And looking back on it now, that was what, 4 years ago, close to. I'm like,
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
who would have known? I don't know. That's
Who
that's
would have known?
insane.
I don't think you've ever told me that story. So thank you for
Yeah,
sharing it with
and
me.
yeah, it was one of those things where I was like,
Eating cereal, like love that, the
I was
details.
like, do you know who LeBron James is? Like, let's be so
Oh
serious
God,
around
don't
here.
don't put me up there. That's crazy. But it's funny, and I think like the way you put that was really awesome. You're like, okay, that was just like a moment where it was like, okay, everything was meant to be. The hardships that I'm going through right now,
Hmm.
it's a sign that things are going to get better.
Yeah,
And like you got to go through those lows sometimes in order to come out on the other side. So
yeah,
yeah, I think that's definitely
yeah,
something I wanted to ask you about too. Like, what do you feel like, we say this all the time, but like some of your successes, some of all of our successes, we can't get to them without the hard days, right? We
yeah,
can't get to them without the setbacks or like moments of injury or not playing or transferring or like whatever the
yeah.
setbacks might be within your lacrosse career. Like, can you talk on some of those for us and like
Yeah.
what you might have
I
learned?
mean, I say this all the time. You wouldn't appreciate the sunny days if you didn't have those rainy days.
Mm,
And for me, I think like one of my biggest accomplishments right now is just being able to make that jump to say, Mary Kate, I think you should transfer, kind of thing. And even now, I mean, every day I'm so grateful for the team that I have right now because we are a family and everybody's super awesome and so nice and so good at lacrosse. So you're just like, I love it here. But um, it's also like last year, again, I love LAU. LAU, my girls, they're amazing. I love them. But it was one of those things where I never went to practice ever every day and was like, oh, like, like just with a terrible attitude. But I think it was one of those things where I was like, okay, like, I'm just a freshman. I can spread my wings a little bit. If I want to go and transfer, I can, and
yeah.
it was also one of those things where it was like, I did ROTC and I didn't know if I was going to like it and I loved it. And, I transferred schools from my high school and it was, and then I loved it. And it was like
Yeah.
kind of one of those things where I was like, you know what? maybe, and also a little part of it was I wanted to go and play with my sisters
Yeah.
and play with the girls that I grew up watching, and they were seniors, and they were all graduating, and I was like, you know what, I this wasn't the only reason I came here, but I was like, this was a reason I came here, and I got to experience that, and I loved it, and the connections I made with those girls on that team, I still to this day, I talk to them all the time. I'm like, I'm so excited to watch you guys play. But it was one of those conversations where I had to have with you and TJ and my dad. And, it was like, I think that I want to see what life would be like if, I didn't have my family there at every call. Like, if I didn't have, like, I've been living with my siblings because we live on campus at LIU.
Yeah.
It's like LIU is my home, which makes it extremely easy to go and visit home. And then I get to see all my friends again. But it was one of those things where I was like, I never felt like I love my family. I love seeing them all the time. But it was like, who's Mary Kate without my four siblings and my dad? How can she thrive and do all these things and stuff like that without her family right next door, kind of thing?
Mhm.
And I think that towards the end of the season, and once the season ended, I was like, okay, let's just one day at a time. My dad says all the time. He's just like, one day at a time. And it's like, okay, let's just enter the transfer portal. Let's consider my options. Let's just do these, take little baby steps, and eventually you're gonna look back and be like, okay, cool. Like we've put a dent in the hole. Like
Yeah.
put a dent in this thing. So
One thing at a
um
time.
it was one of those things where that was super hard to kind of, and I remember sitting with you at a coffee shop, and I was like, I don't know if, like, this is a huge decision to make, to like leave somewhere you're spend a whole year at, and
Mhm.
to go and basically redo it all. And I was just so like, God, I hope I picked the right place. Like, I never
Yeah.
want to do this again, because I want to have that home and stuff like that. And I think the one thing that I just am grateful for all the time is just being like, looking back and being like, you did that. Like, yes, I had the best help in the world and the best mentors that I could ask for, but it was like, you made the decision to
Yeah.
go somewhere else and do something else. And I think that with that, you're just like, again, the sunny days, you can't appreciate them without the rainy days. It's like
Yeah. And
I've seen them and I felt it, and now I'm like, this is life is about perspective, and I'm like, this is it. Like,
it's a really
me and
cool
my
view.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you just keep going back to that theme too of like, hey, like if it's out there to try, you
Right.
know, like
Hmm.
I might as well try it and see
Right.
what happens. And there's always, other avenues that we can take from there.
Right.
And I think that you did a great job at like talking yourself through that. And
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that too, because it's obviously something that a lot of people are going
Yeah.
through, especially in lacrosse, right? Not an easy
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
And even too, like you could compare that to other decisions in life too, like where it might be
Right.
very difficult to even pick a school from the beginning when you're in a recruiting process or deciding even what camp to go to. Like,
Right.
when you're
Yeah.
younger and just starting the recruiting process,
Yeah.
stuff like that, like big
Right.
decisions that are going to have a big impact in the way the
Mhm.
direction that your life goes.
Right.
Those are heavy, right? And like you said, those
Yeah.
are days almost just because of how heavy they are. And
Mhm.
I think it's awesome that you're able to be there now,
Yeah.
be a captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Can you
and
talk
like,
us through that? Can you talk
yeah.
us through that decision and like how you're feeling
Uh,
right now as a captain at Tampa?
I mean, I'm so grateful for it. My coach brought me in the other day and was like, "Would you like to be a captain of the 2024 season?" I was like, "Yes, yes, I would. That would be awesome. I would love that. That would be super, super dope." But I was a little stunned because, I mean, not only am I a sophomore, but I'm a transfer, and I was like, yeah, but like, why? Like, why
Yeah.
me? Like, I, I don't know. And she talked to me and she was like, you have this perspective of like coming to practice every day with a smile on your face and being able to make a connection with teammates and stuff like that. And a little part of me, I mean, whatever. It came natural to me to be with my siblings all the time. And I played lacrosse with all the LIU girls that I've been watching. I've been to the
Oh,
tailgates with them after games. It's like they were my friends. And every girl on that team at LIU and even Tampa are so easy to get along with. And um, I think that was one thing that even when I came to transfer, I was talking to my dad all through the summer and right before practices started for the first time. And he was like, you just got to go in and be happy and fun and get along. And, you know, you don't need to be a leader, just be a dog. Like get on the field and get the respect of just being a dog on the field and,
yeah.
and things will come, And looking back, it's like that this past fall ball, like it's not hard to get along with any of these girls on the team here at Tampa. Everybody wants to win a national championship this year. And that is the coolest thing to walk in the locker room and be like, y'all, like we're ring chasing over here. But um, you know, I like to be that person on the sidelines because again, that was one thing that was as I think a freshman and a lot of people go through when they get to college, they expect certain things and then you kind of need to check your ego at the door a little bit when you now are sitting on the sideline. It's like, okay, like what is my controllable? What can I do right now to like I can't control my playing time right now. Let's make the sideline super dope and fun. And it was one of those things where it was like you get good at it because you're sitting there with everybody else and you're like, this is awesome and fun. And but I think I just translated that to this season, especially coming into somewhere new again. And it was one of those things where my dad told me, he was like, expect nothing, but be ready for it all and be hungry for it all. And so like when
That's
I
awesome.
walked in there, I was like, you know what? I like expect nothing. I don't, just be a dog
Yeah.
on the field and be that fun person. And I remember we played the University of Florida, the very first fall ball, or we played Jacksonville, but the University of Florida game was like oh my God. But we went in there, we were playing there. I was like, this is so sick right now. Like we're in Gainesville right now. I've never been to Gainesville. This is my like second time being in Florida point blank period. And I'm like we're playing the Florida Gators right now. And I remember being like, guys, this is cool. Let's get rowdy. And my coach I completely forgot about the story, but she told me the other day and it was just funny because she brought it up and just remembered. But it was like she was like, hey, Kate, like when we were playing the Florida Gators, you were like running up and down the field, getting back on the circle and like clapping and telling everybody to get hype. And I remember it was October and that was when the Phillies were going to the World
Oh,
Series.
well, then
And
you were
and
hyped
it
up.
was yeah, and
Yeah.
we were wearing red jerseys. So I was like, Red October, this is sick. Like whatever. And I probably look like a crazy person, but they were like, you are somebody that can make that energy bus happen. And a
Yeah.
little part of me was like, that is so sick to me. Like I love to be that kind of person and get people on that bus. And
Yeah.
my roommates, all my housemates are the exact same person as me, and they all are so fun. And it's just so easy to be a genuinely happy person on this team. But
Mhm.
um,
Energy
I
bus.
yeah, the energy bus. You got to get on it, man. Like, get on
Get
it.
on it. I
Get
think
on it.
that is something that like obviously like as an outsider, like as someone who knows you, um, I know that it comes naturally to you, but it's also something you gotta like work for too.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of energy, that's a lot of effort. So like and just you talking about the fact that like, okay, whatever situation I'm in, it could be really crappy or it
Right.
could be really awesome, right? Like riding the bench or playing the Florida Gators, either way, or losing
Yeah.
a game or winning a game, whatever it is, like either way, I know I got to bring that energy. And one
Right.
version of that might take a lot more energy out of me,
Right.
but the other one might be really easy to do. But like
Yeah.
you're dedicating to that. And I think that's really,
Mhm.
really special and something that a
Yeah.
lot of listeners are probably like, okay, I can resonate with that. I understand that it might be hard, but like, okay, I can put more effort into that in order to be
Mhm.
a good teammate. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that's special because I think that's what makes you you
Thanks.
as a
Yeah.
player.
And
And
that was another thing. I mean, we were talking about it earlier, but I'm the youngest captain on our team right now. And it was, we have 4 seniors and they're super awesome. They're very qualified captains. They're amazing. And, but they're seniors and they've been at Tampa. And it was kind of one of those things where I was talking to my coach and I was like, they, they're captains for a reason. And I think that I'm a captain for a reason, but it was more so you're making me a captain to be that social captain that gets people in the locker room and it's you have a good time and get close with everybody. But it's like I want to be that kind of captain, and then all the seniors can be the holding people accountable and like all the other very very much equally just as important things. But it was like I felt that I was more so picked a captain just to be that person that could
That energy leader. Yeah.
light a match kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Energy leaders are, like you said, equally important. There's so
Yeah.
many different ways to lead. And I think that's another fantastic point too, that you're
Mm-hmm.
using like your own example from is like so many people think when you think leaders or captains, it's like everyone has to be the same way.
Right.
And but like it's bringing your own energy to it. It's bringing your own flair to it.
Right.
It's bringing sometimes it's like you said, being the more vocal captain, and other
Right.
times it's being more of like the walk kind of captain,
Yeah.
follow my lead without me having to say much. There's
Yeah.
so many different versions of leaders out there. And I'm sure, anyone who's listening to this, who's played sports can attest to it. But if you're trying to find, if you're listening to this and you're trying to find your own leadership style, just remember that there's not only one of them,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think that's really, really important. That
There's
also takes
so
me
many.
into our next question, which is kind of fun. It's like you got to give me 3 words. Okay. So 3 words only. And we're going to talk about your values and like the people
Yeah.
around you. So like the traits that you
Yeah.
look. Okay. So what are 3 things that you value the most in the people around you?
Oh man. Honestly, I think that like the perspective that people have
Mm.
is something that is like a magnet. Like just the perspective that you know, just gratitude again. Like the girls on our team are just, and this is even just like life,
Yeah.
like the gratitude and being able to make a crappy situation into a not so crappy situation kind of
Have
thing. Cause
fun
there are
with it.
times
Yeah.
where it's just, but just like gratitude and, you know, being able to, look at a crappy situation and being able to make it a, a different one.
Right.
Um, another virtue, you know, oh man, this is a nice
Yeah.
question. This is,
Like, yeah, if you think about, I don't know, like, oh, Oakley wants to say hi. But I don't know if you can hear him.
yeah. Oakley, you got a value?
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
excuse me, loyalty, let me out.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
just different values. So like loyalty or
Yeah.
commitment or I like what you said about like perspective,
Right.
stuff like that. So let's ask it in a different way. Like what are some of the things you value the most in a teammate? Like what do you look for
Oh
in a
yeah. You said it just like that, loyalty. And it's not even loyalty, it's like you're showing up just as much as I am and it's like it's loyalty and that trust of like I know that you're going to give me 100% of what you have to get today. Nobody's going to be 100% every day, but it's if you have that, yeah, if you have that 70% in you that day, then you give me 100% of that 70%. And it's that trust and loyalty of like I know that that's what you're going to give me today, and it's the gratitude and the loyalty and the trust that you have in your teammates because it's like at the end of the day, my head coach says this all the time. It's lacrosse is what you do. It's not who you are. So
Mm.
it's I know that yes, these are my teammates, but these are like also like my best friends. And that's like also what I look for in just a genuine friend of like somebody I want to be around all the time is like that trust. Like I trust you guys because I mean, when you get on the line every day, misery loves company. Like you guys are also like, you
Yeah.
get through it together and get out of it stronger. And, you know, we always say this before our run test because you're just like, all right, we're gonna get through it. But it's like, pain is that weakness leaving the body, and you're like, we're like, and you're excited. I don't know. And it's just awesome because
Yeah, those are good ones. I like that. And again, just kind of like bringing that full circle too. We just talked
yeah,
about a bunch of different kinds of leaders. Like,
yeah.
what do you think are a couple traits that you look for in a leader or that you value in a leader?
So me and my dad were talking about this again. When my dad listens to
So
podcasts,
I should have him on, is what you're
yeah,
saying. Okay.
he's like, you really shout me out a lot, but he is somebody that I go to literally with everything. But
Love that.
we were talking. So prime time says there's leaders and dogs, and every team has leaders. Every team has dogs. You can't be a dog without a leader,
Mm.
and you can't be a leader without a dog. And that was one thing that I incredibly focused on because I wanted to be that. I knew that I could, but I didn't really know how to be that leader. And especially ROTC helps so much with being a leader because you're literally training to be a second lieutenant in the Army and you have to be a leader. So it definitely does help. But, that was one thing that I knew that I can control was just like my attitude. And that's another virtue, is just your attitude towards things. Nobody wants to be put on the line, but it's everybody wants to win a national championship, and nobody wants to do the things that are required to do that. And that's the aspect that a lot of the girls, everybody on our team has, is like, we are willing to do all of those things, and we have that trust. And that's even like a trusting in our coach. Like, I wholeheartedly have trust in my coach. Like, I may not understand every single thing that we do, but I have that trust of, how to win, and I trust and I'm loyal to that practice plan, that I will do what you are telling me, because I know where that light is at the end of the tunnel, and I know that it has a ring on my finger. So I'm like, I will do that. I will do it
That's
100%.
really cool. I
But
like that.
yeah, like I don't know. And but like the leaders and dogs thing, I remember sitting in my end of the year fall meeting with my coaches, and I was like, prime time says leaders and dogs, and I want to be that dog on the field that, like, even if I was never set a captain, I even, my coach even said that, she was like, do not change anything that you're doing right now. Like, there should be no like crazy change in your attitude just because you were named a captain. And I think that's another thing that people like think, that what a captain is, it means that now you have some
Mm-hmm.
pretend crown on your head, and it really isn't that. It's your attitude. If people don't look up to you because your name is a captain, that's just assigned to you. It's like your how hard you run on your run tests, and the attention to detail with little things, and like the holding your teammates accountable, and being able to be that like genuine friend that everybody wants to be around, is like, I think that was my big thing of like trying to be a leader. But again, I especially coming to a new team, and it's inevitable to feel the need to prove yourself, because you're like, I want to like, not selfishly, but like when you focus on yourself, you're like, okay, I want to play good because I love lacrosse and I want to play and I want to get time and all that stuff. And so then when I got super comfortable, and it did not take long with this team, but it was, I just felt like those first couple of practices, it was like, just put your head down, get the respect that you want on the field, and then you can keep going and try to create these, like, try to be a leader. But at first, I just think that if you want to become a leader, you got to get that respect of like being that person that just works hard. Just, and I think that's what a captain is. That's one requirement that I feel like you have to have, is just working hard, being that hard worker that people can look at and be like, yeah, like that's
Yeah, I
that's
want
the
to
leader
follow.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Um,
That's a good way to put that, right? Like, it's just like an inevitable thing that you need to check
right.
off, you know,
Yeah.
'cause you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's
Yeah.
that's cool. All right, cool. We have a couple more questions here.
Yeah.
How we feeling? Crushing your
Oh,
first
I'm
podcast?
good. I know. I love it
Crushing.
here.
I
I'm
love
gonna
it
I'm
here.
gonna make my own, and you can be featured on mine.
She's like, I don't want to be on your podcast anymore. I'm just gonna go off on my own and I'm gonna be great.
I'm gonna make a logo tonight.
Oh my God. If you send me a logo, I think it has to be of you
Oh,
in your ROTC Army uniform with your goggles on. Yes.
yeah. Yes. I literally, one of my coaches was like, this is like not even real. I remember like we were like doing like draw work and reaction stuff, and my draw specialist Elizabeth was like, this is not, this is not, like, you're
Yeah.
not doing it right now.
How were the
It was,
people taking the draw against you, not just like cracking up
they
at the
were like,
situation?
well, that's what it was. I was like,
Yeah.
guys, like, we had to be serious. Like, I can't even take myself seriously right now. And it was, I thought that I was only going to have time to do draw stuff, but I'm like somebody where it's like, okay, if I have 10 minutes left, like, you're gonna have to, I'm gonna start leaving at 9:59, like the minute mark. And so I had like 10 minutes left. So
Yeah.
we got to do like we're learning an offensive set right now. So I was like, all right, we're like, I'm gonna stay. It's just funny because I'm like moving the ball and I'm like like not in cleats. I'm in my boots. I'm
Does
like
anyone have a video of this? Is what
I
I
maybe
just
it's
did for
myself. I don't
myself.
know. I just like literally, but it's this past Tuesday, I was like, I had like 5 minutes left before practice started, and I was like, I will be changing into my cleats because that one, it's so hot here now, and you're just like, I can't be wearing trousers to practice right now. Like this is crazy. But
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome. That is
I know.
probably one of the best things you said. And just again, a testament to obviously all the hats that you wear and like really cool that you are in that position that you
Yeah,
get to do both of those things.
yeah,
But yes, also like an awesome place to build a logo off of, obviously.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we talked a lot about like how much you fell in love with lacrosse when you were younger and like looked up to your sisters and everything like that. Now you're playing, you're chasing after a national championship.
Yeah.
Super exciting. Where do you hope to see our sport? Where do you hope to see lacrosse in the next coming years? Like it's been obviously
I
booming, but what do you hope to see?
I mean, I now that March is coming up, I'm like looking at my brackets. I'm like making sure, like, I'm like still watch, but I watch the women's team. I don't really watch the men's, but it's also not because I'm like I only want to watch women's because it's women. But I'm like I genuinely, literally only want to watch women's, and they're getting so big, and it's so cool to see that like there's cards of Caitlin Clark selling for like $70,000. And you're like, that's sick. Like what? Like it's just cool to see those collegiate athletes that are actually not very far from my age. Like now that I'm in college, but you see these big sport like Angel Reese, and you're like, we're like high Q, not really, but we're kind of the same age. Like that's weird, Like, and you're on TV and you're doing these big things. I'm like, that's so sick. And you know, I I think that women's lacrosse is not far from that at all. Like I think that is the coolest thing to be able to be like, I know like these things are everybody's watching it. It's so cool. And I mean, it's not hard for me to, sit down and watch the Sweet 16 for lacrosse. It's so exciting because I mean, it's what I've grown up with, but it's like with like reality TV shows and your family and your brothers are like, oh, I'm not watching that. But it's like they're in the doorstep and they're just like super invested in it for some reason. And it's like that's the same thing with like
Yeah.
when I watch the women's, my brothers are like now they're like, yeah, let's watch this. Like I'm into it. I want to watch it. They're like they know the names now, certain players and
Yeah.
oh Charlotte North. I'm like, okay, that's sick. Like Kylie Oberry. I'm like, okay, like that's I love that. And I don't know. Like I think now it being in the Olympics is a huge step of like this is like I don't know why it took so long, but like
Yeah.
word, like I'm so excited. And I think that women in sports in general is getting way bigger and it's so exciting to like watch it all play out, especially as I'm still in the sport myself. Like
Mhm.
being that like I'm playing with girls that actually are good enough to go and play and be the next generation of the USA team. And I think it's so cool to be like you. Like I would never think that I could be like, oh yeah, no, Kylie Omer, that's my friend. Like yeah, like yeah, we're friends. Like Ali Mastriani, like yeah, we're friends. Yeah, and it's so cool because like my dad says this all the time, but he's also like he's just funny, but he's like, oh, Kylie Omer, like, yeah, like you ever seen Michael Jordan play? He refers to you as Michael Jordan all the time because he's like, he's also not as I you're like the one person that he's like, oh yeah, like I know her,
I know
and
her.
he's getting into it more. But it's just funny because it's like at first, like nobody really knew much, especially the brothers of my brothers, my family, just boys in my life in general. But now they're like getting into it and they're really they love it, and I don't know. I just think it's really exciting to be a part of.
I like that perspective.
Yeah,
Just like a very personal perspective of that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, what's next in the life for Mary Kate? Like, what are you dreaming about these days? What are you hoping to accomplish?
These days, I mean, I think it's inevitable for college students to kind of freak out about like, what's the next step? Like, what
Mhm.
is Mary Kate potentially without lacrosse? Or like, what are we doing after this kind of thing? And I mean, it's definitely not it's one of those things we put on the back burner because it's like,
Got
yeah,
time.
too
You
far
got
away.
plenty of time.
It's that bar, but it's like, for me, I know that I'm going to be in the military and doing my thing there. And I think that's super exciting, but it's also something that I don't really, yes, it is something, it's a job. You not
Yeah.
saying you should stress out about it, but definitely take it seriously. But it's one of those things where I kind of know that that's kind of my path for the next 5 years after. So it's definitely taken that. Like at least I know kind of what I want to do. Now it's all right. Let's get ready for it. Like you know that you want to go into aviation and you want to be able to fly a helicopter. Why don't we figure that out? Because
That
you cannot fly a helicopter.
would
Um, Mary Kate, you just got a parking ticket over winter break of driving your car. You're going to be driving a military issued vehicle. I don't know, but
yeah,
it's like just funny because
you got some time to
yeah,
figure all that.
yeah,
I
but it's
respect that perspective. I respect that perspective because I think it's important that, you know, post collegiate, yes, it's like a big transition, but there's so many big transitions in our lives that
yeah,
cause a lot of anxiety, cause a lot of thoughts, a lot of questions, and as they're approaching. So I appreciate that perspective of like, okay, I got time. Let's just
yeah,
prepare. Let's just do
right,
my best to prepare as much as I
yeah,
possibly can.
and even being like with you, like I genuinely do say, like right now, being able to enter the transfer portal was like probably the biggest decision I've made in my life so far. Kind of just because that was my own decision, and it was because I had you and TJ and my dad and my family all in my corner and all helped me make those decisions. And it was not that you made the decision for me, but like especially you didn't tell me this is where you should go and this is what you have to do. It's like you let me kind of look into things myself and then helped me piece those pieces together and figure it out myself. And I think that that was super helpful because now I'm like, in a weird way, it's kind of a confidence builder booster because
Yeah.
it's like I made this decision and it worked out. And then I kind of made that one and it kind of worked out too. So then you kind of get trust in yourself and you're like, okay, then maybe I am like kind of know what I'm talking about with myself, So
Maybe I can go through this life
maybe
thing,
I
you
do
know?
know how to do this by myself. So
No, but
yeah,
another piece you mentioned there is important too, is just like surrounding yourself with people that, like you said, like have the
yeah,
values that you were mentioning before, that you trust, that you can bounce ideas off of and be able to really just help you like do what you do best and feel
yeah,
confident in like how you're gonna make decisions. Because I mean, as unfortunate as making decisions sometimes is, making hard decisions, you're gonna have to do that
yeah,
your life, right? Like
yeah.
we all have to. So,
Wait,
um, yeah, wait, are you sure?
are you for real?
I
I
love
keep
it.
it funny for the rest of my life.
Oh my gosh. All
Funny.
right.
Yeah.
So, last segment here, it's called quick finishes. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, we're just gonna go rapid fire with some random little questions for you. You
Love it.
ready?
Yeah, love it.
Okay. Favorite candy?
My favorite candy easily are those like sour gummy worms. I'll like eat them until my tongue is like kind of I can't feel it anymore. They're so good. Like literally so
Okay, what's
good.
the best TV show in your opinion?
Modern Family 1000%. Phil Dunphy is like I think Phil Dunphy is my dad, like literally 100%. Like if you watch Phil Dunphy, that is my father, but it's just funny. I love that show so much.
That is funny. They kind of look alike too. Um,
They
okay.
do. They do.
Who is one of your favorite athletes to follow for inspiration? You just mentioned a couple of them before, but who's one of your favorite ones to follow?
Well, I'm looking at one right now for sure. You. No, 100% though. Ever since like I got to train with you, it was this is who I want to be, and it was again what you say all the time. Surround yourself with people that push you and make you want to be better every day. But I think it's cool because I don't look at you as a coach. I look at you as a friend
Yeah.
and a friend that knows what she's talking about way more than I do. So it's like I like, you know what I mean? I don't know. You are somebody that I genuinely do look up to, and I think that's really cool to be able to be like, that is not only my mentor coach, but that's also somebody I can talk to about literally anything. So that's, I mean, 100%. And I would say like other ones, like collegiate, like athletes just in general.
Yeah.
My one aunt and my aunt Amory was the one that played at American University. And she is literally the sole reason I played lacrosse and picked up a stick in the first place. And she doesn't play anymore. Obviously, she's like 35 and with like 3 children, but she is somebody that I still am like, you are an athlete to me. And
Yeah.
I talk to her all the time, and she is somebody that I look up to, and she's awesome. But yeah,
I love
those
that.
are those are my
Yeah.
athletes.
Well, thank you. You're very kind.
Yeah.
And I love that you get to look up to someone close to you in your family.
Yeah.
What is your go-to breakfast meal?
Okay.
Oh,
You got a pen and a pencil? Let me tell you. Let me. I've been waiting for this one.
have you? Okay.
My
And the
so okay, let me talk. um so lately I've been managing my time quite well. I will say my freshman year, even last fall, I will wake up literally 5 minutes before I have to get out of the door and just get a Cliff Bar and eat it and whatever. That's that. But now I'm like, I have a kitchen. I live with 6 of my best friends. I'm like, we got such a nice house. I got my own room. I could, do all these things. I'm like waking up like 2 hours before I got to get out the door, and I'm like cooking. I feel like Matilda in the kitchen. I tell my roommates all the time. I'm like cooking eggs. I got pancakes in the griddle, and I'm like making all these like things. And my go-to. I'm getting off topic, but
bar.
my go-to is bacon, egg, and cheese, toasted bread, cream cheese on. Then you eat. It's a lot of bread. It's a lot of carbs included in this meal, but it's toasted bread, butter, marmalade.
Wow.
That is, I eat it every day. It is literally the best thing ever.
Wow. That
You
sounds fantastic, honestly.
can tell I'm just very passionate about that question, but
Yeah,
I
you were
stand by
ready.
that
You asked me if I
every
hold a pen and a
day. And
pencil. Yes.
a pen and a paper.
So you were very
One
excited.
for mistakes and one to set in stone.
That was awesome. Okay, Starbucks or
Oh.
Dunkin'?
I'm not a coffee girl, but I'm a chai tea through and through. I am Starbucks chai tea, 100%. Pump of vanilla in there. Love it. My
Classic.
thing.
Beach or mountains?
Beach, but then also mountain. I love both. Honestly, I have a house in the Poconos, and we go there every summer. So that's like the beach, but also the mountains because the lake. And so honestly, I mean, right now I'm like beach because Tampa, Florida. But
Okay, fair. We'll go with that. All right, what is your favorite jersey number to rep and why?
number 14 is my favorite jersey number to rep because that's literally actually I've had like multiple numbers, but I think that 14 was my older brother Drew. That was his jersey number when he was playing football. And I was like, again, I'm like monkey see, monkey do. I want to be that. But now I'm number 26. So that's that's my number now. And my favorite number to rep right now because
Number 26? Be
not right
looking,
now. So
yeah, gotta be looking for in
yeah,
February, March,
yeah,
April, May, ring chasing.
26.
Of course,
26.
26. I love it. Okay, last two questions. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Right now, I tell myself every day, I'm like, you need to be a morning person because you're literally going to the army. So you don't really have a choice these days,
Totally.
but
And you're
I'm getting
making
better.
gourmet breakfasts every morning, so you need to be
Like
awake.
Matilda. Exactly. So I would say morning
Okay. We're working on the morning person thing. All right. Last but not least, what is one thing on your bucket list?
Okay. If I'm going to tell my housemates that I said this on this podcast because it's super funny, but I have always wanted to be on a volleyball team here at Tampa. And on my bucket list before I graduate, I will be on the club team. And I'm saying that right now because I really want to
Okay.
be on it.
You're putting it out
And
there into
putting
existence.
out there.
Okay.
I'm starting with intramural. I played 2 years JV in high school, but it was the funnest sport ever. So right now that's on my bucket list to play one singular game of Tampa volleyball. That's it. That's all I
Okay.
want. Then I'll
All right.
retire.
Well, obviously this is the Dream On podcast, and
Yeah.
we've always talked about like making sure we write down our goals or put them out there, tell someone
Hey,
else
that's
about
me. That's me.
You're doing exactly that right now. So
I
we'll
love
see
that.
that at some point in your future.
And to win a national championship, but
Oh,
that's in due time. In due time.
that's just a given, of course. Of course. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Well, listen, I think you had a lot of gems today. And it was really awesome to just kind of dive into, a lot of your story, a lot of the challenges that you've been through. So much of what we do on this podcast is just like kind of talk through that and talk through your journey so that anyone who's listening can possibly resonate with any piece of it. And I think you definitely were able to hit on a couple of things for people today.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I'm so excited to see the next gen lax players.
Oh
I think
yeah,
it's super sick.
I know, and we are just equally as excited to watch you this
Yeah.
spring. So,
Thanks.
yeah, thanks for being you. I'm so excited for you. I'm so pumped for you. So proud of you. And
Thank you.
thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you on the
Yeah.
next episode.
Bye
Bye.
guys. See ya.